So, MIDI Retrospective Record. If you know what it is and use it, well, kudos to you. I don't think there's going to be anything at all in this video that you don't know already. If you know what it is but don't use it, then keep watching please, and if you don't know what it is, then all will be revealed. I think MIDI Retrospective Record is one of the most helpful features in the composition and arranging process. I think it is in most major DAWs. I am currently using Cubase, so it's in that. I think it's also in Ableton, Pro Tools, Logic, Studio One, probably others. So if your DAW has it and you haven't tried it, then I think you may be in for a treat. So essentially, if you have a keyboard connected to your DAW, even if it's not in recording mode, and you are playing away, trying out different ideas, and suddenly hit upon one which you think you really should have recorded, then if you hit Retrospective Record, your DAW will immediately populate a track with everything that you have just played. So you never have to worry about not hitting record. Now, I know it's a thing, and some people say, well, you should always hit record when you're improvising in case you miss anything, but we don't always remember to do that. Now, I've been aware of retrospective record for ages. Cubase, I think, has had it for a long time, but I never really used it until several months ago when I was improvising, looking for some musical ideas, as I do. I got a few bars which I thought were good, and I tried to find some more bars which would follow on quite nicely. And of course, by the time I'd worked out what the second lot of bars were, I'd totally forgotten what I'd done initially. So I was just about to give up and start again when I remembered that Cubase had this retrospective record feature, which I'd never used. So I had to look it up, of course, but once I did, and I hit the magic buttons, and all my doodling came back. So not only was it a massive time saver, it saved me having to go through the creative process again, assuming there was some left, and try to reconstruct what I had lost. And since then, I have used it on just about everything, and I use it in two ways, which I shall demonstrate. The first way I use it is when I am trying to come up with ideas. Now, for some reason, I really don't like hitting the record button unless I intend to record something. So it leaves me free just to improvise and see what I can come up with. And if I think, yes, that's a good idea, then I can hit Retrospective Record and capture the idea. So here we are on the music machine, and here's Cubase. And I've created an instrument track, and I have set up the grandeur with one of my favorite presets, the deep grandeur, and I'm just going to play something. I'm going to improvise and see if I can come up with anything remotely interesting. Now, I'm not too concerned about how good this is. This is just for demonstration purposes, so you can understand how retrospective recording works. So I seem to be a bit modal. So we'll say, okay, let's just pretend that I found something which I really like and I've played it and I haven't set record. So what do? Well, I can go to Retrospective Record in the inspector. There's also a keyboard shortcut, which is Shift and the star or asterisk key on the numeric keypad. And look, whoomp, my entire recording appears as if I had just recorded it, just like magic. So there it is. I'm not going to play through all of it. You've already heard it once, but there it is, and I can copy it or edit it and process it, do whatever I like. So thank you, Retrospective Record. So that's pretty cool. The second way I use it is if I'm trying to find additional music ideas to go with a pre-existing arrangement. I can loop the arrangement and again improvise to come up with ideas to fit the arrangement. and it works like this. Okay, so let's say after all my improvisation I came up with this incredibly funky riff. Well, okay, but this is for demonstration purposes. So let's say I wanted to add a string line to this. So I've set the cycle markers, and under normal circumstances I would just play this on repeat, trying different string lines until I found one which fitted. Now you will notice during the demonstration that record is not engaged at all. What you can do is just to simply try out different music lines, and retrospective record will capture them. So let's just say I have a few ideas for 4-bar patterns and I'm going to try a few lines. Okay, pausing for inspiration. Keep going. So that's enough of that for demonstration purposes. So what we can do now is to go over to the inspector to retrospective recording. There are two options, linear and cycle. We've already sort of done the linear recording, but if I select it, then everything that I've played appears in one big long line, as you would expect from the word linear. But if we select cycle, then we get this. The cross-hatched shading in Cubase, at any rate, shows that there is more than one recording there. And here's the really clever bit. If you look at the bottom of the recorded section, you will see a little down pointing triangle. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, you will know that I have a degenerative eye condition and I can't really see this, so I need to put a screen magnifier on. I'm assuming if you have normal vision, this will not be a problem. Anyway, this will just highlight the fact that there is a little triangle there, and when you click on it, you get a list of the recordings that you've made each cycle. So you can go through the list, selecting one cycle at a time to hear what they sound like. Oh, this is where I've just held one note throughout. It's a sort of pedal point. I love things like this, just holding one note in the bass or in the higher register. You will probably have noticed that the main piano riff, there's only one note in the bass where the chords in the right hand change. I think things like this, very simple, but I think they are very effective. And one more. I think this is the last one anyway. So that's MIDI Retrospective Record. If you aren't already using it, I hope you can see how it can save you a lot of time, a lot of grief in particular, and how it can help with your compositional process. I think all DAWs should have this. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. As always, I really do appreciate you spending time listening to my videos, so for that, thank you very much indeed. And if you have enjoyed this video and found it useful and helpful, then perhaps you'd like to consider subscribing to the channel, ringing the bell. Thank you, so you get informed of new, I can't help it. So you get informed of new videos as soon as I release them. It's all about synthesizers and synthesis and electronic music and stuff like that. And do please click the big thumb, because that helps in all sorts of ways. So thank you very much indeed again, and I will see you in the next video.